Hello all, it's Manisha Patil. Today we'll be discussing Hawthorne studies. Considering Hawthorne studies, it began with a set of experiments undertaken at Western Electric Company's Hawthorne Works in Cicero, Illinois, between 1924 to 1927. These Hawthorne studies, which would eventually be widely expanded and would carry on through the early 1930s, were initially devised by Western electrical industrial engineers to examine the effect of various illumination levels on workers' productivity. Control and experimental group were established, but they could not explain how illumination intensity were clearly correlated with the workers' behavior. The Western electrical engineers turned to Harvard psychologist Elton Mayo and his associates during 1927 to join the study as consultants. This began a relationship that would last through 1932, and it has given numerous experiments covering the redesign of jobs, changes in the length of work day and work week, introduction to rest period, and individual work versus group wage plans, etc. So here we can see there were set of theories which were taken through. First one is illuminations theory. The experimental group and control group were established in this experiments on illusions. The experimental group was presented with the varying intensity of illumination, while the controlled unit worked under a constant illumination intensity. The engineers had expected individual output to be directly related to intensity of the light. However, there were no contradictions in the intensity of light. As the light level were increased in the experimental unit, output of this group rose eventually. To the surprise of engineers, as the light level was dropped in the experimental group, productivity continued to increase in both of the groups. In fact, a productivity decrease was observed in experimental group only when the light in the intensity had been reduced to that of the moonlight. So it says only experimental group has showed that only at the moon level light of the illumination they have shown decrease in the productivity, but both of the groups showed the increase of the productivity in various intensity of the lights. So relay assembly test room experiments were designed to determine the effect of changes in various job conditions on group productivity. As illumination experiments could not establish a relationship between intensity of light and production, this came into the scene. For this purpose, researchers set a relay assembly test room. 2 girls were chosen. These girls were asked to choose for more girls as co-workers. The work is related to assembly of telephone relays. Each relay consisted of some parts which girls assembled into finished products. Output depended on speed and continuity with which girls worked. The experiment started with introducing numerous changes in sequence with the duration of each change ranging for 4 to 12 weeks. An observer associated with girls to supervise their work were been established. Before each change was introduced, girls were consulted. They were given opportunity to express their viewpoints and concerns to the supervisor. In some cases, they are allowed to take decisions on matters where it is concerned to them. So with this, there were mass interviewing programs were conducted, and also we can see bank wiring observation room experiment. So we'll move to the applications of the Hawthorne studies. We can say there were numerous implications of the Hawthorne studies, but first one, as Professor Mayo discussed, it is the social, seeing the organization as a social unit, where he considers men are social beings. So social characteristics at work plays a major role in motivating people. And he talks about group behavior, as workers in a group develop common psychological bond, uniting them as a panel in form of informal organization. And also he talks about group behavior. Management must understand that typical group behavior can dominate or even surpass individual propensities. He also talks about motivation, that human and social motivation can play even a greater role than a little monetary incentives. He talks about supervision, where the style of control affects workers' attitude to work and his productivity. A supervisor who is friendly with his employees and take an interest in their social problems can get cooperation and better results from the subordinate. And he talks about work conditions, where he says productivity increases as a result of improved working conditions. And he talks about employee morale, that is the employee morale is can be improved with the effects of the facilitation during the work. He talks about communication, where workers have good communication with one another. So these are the some of the implications which we could see, which was derived from the studies of Hawthorne. So next, as we know, every industry or every organization, every research and every new invention have criticism. So what are the criticism of Hawthorne studies? Here are some listed out criticisms that may be seen as lack of validity, that is, these experiments were conducted under controlled situations. These findings will not work in real setting, as the workers under observation knew about these tests, so they may have improved their performance only for experiments. And more importance to human aspects were given, that too much importance to human aspects alone cannot improve the productivity. So the production also depends on technological aspects or other aspects. More emphasis on group decision making is being given, where in real situation an individual has to take some decisions individually by neglecting others, because in only emergency situations we cannot rely on other members decisions, as it is required to take quick decisions and there is no time to consult others. And over importance to freedom of workers is being given here, that is we can see relevance to freedom of workers does not give much of the constructive role for the supervisors. In reality, too much of freedom to the workers can lower down their performance or productivity. These criticisms were made by other psychologists during the contemporary of Elton Mayo, and but in general way, if we need to discuss the Hawthorne studies, we can say that the experiments covering redesign of job changes and length of work day, work week and others, this experiment was the first large scale studies of working people's conditions ever made. So they also produced range of remarkable results that changed the thinking of management. So as this is very uh, milestone of the industrial psychology, we can say it is very important for us to discuss about this study. So with this we'll conclude this session. In next session we'll be discussing about one more study, that is time motion study by Taylor. Any doubts you have, you can comment below or contact me. Thank you.